Oh, man. It's not wanting to do its thing. There it is. The camera's asleep. I don't know. I wore Annabelle out today. She has been all over the house. Hannah, you may not see her. Richard, I agree with you on the dong making the most economical sense. It does. I did see somebody chat earlier as I was going in and out of chat, guys. So somebody saying, yeah, I've definitely heard somewhere between 2.25, 230. We've seen higher rates. Seen it up 370 to almost $4 in and out of bank screens, but I'm not hearing. It could be testing the system. They may just be placeholders they're throwing in there. So I always try to think a little lower and hope that it's higher. Just helps me deal with the ups and downs of it. Let's see, digging out from the deepest December snowfall in recorded history. Tahoe builder, good luck. You need a bobcat. Hello, snowy Wisconsin, horsewoman. You're going to make me feel guilty down here. It was 72 degrees. I think tonight's low 64, which is unseasonably freakish way to get everybody sick. Tony, I'm with you. Tony Stormcloud said, rip the Band-Aid off. Vera, that's a good question for Mr. C, not for Mr. not for Mr. Z on the GICs. Let's see. Hello, 2000. It was a good Christmas. It was a good Christmas. What else? Baja Girl. That's why I try to start late so that you can get through all the commercials on Twitch. Katie, happy birthday, Katie. I actually made a note when I saw you post that earlier. Hey, JT Beach Guy, God, if it goes for $4, I may be dancing naked in the streets if it goes for, no, I don't think that's going to be happening. Meaning, I don't think I'm going to be dancing in the streets naked. Maybe after the med bed I will. Because then I'll be fast enough to streak. Boogie there, boogie there. And he wasn't wearing no clothes. Little Ray Stevens for you guys. A lot of happy birthdays going in there. Let's see what else. Oh, man. Woo, it's been fun. Hello, Rick and Tina in Hawthorne, Nevada. Hello, Casper Rudy on the Olympic Peninsula. Mike G, Larry S. Hi-ho, 53 in raining in San Diego. Revocable or irrevocable. I did irrevocable. I'm not a trust attorney, so I'm probably not your best source there. I just know that Bob said that's the one that made the most sense, so I ran with it. Greetings from Spartanburg, South Carolina there, Lily Gregor. Hello, Sourceful Journey. Alina, this is such a tremendous, and I literally answer it on every podcast, every single one. Guys, don't understand why we're still having the conversation. 100% of my sources say no. Many of them are working in Reno handling redemption for 4A. Some of them run redemption centers. Exactly 0 of them think you need to have a trust. Let's just say that they're right and you need one and you're only going to get $1 million until you get your trust. You're going to have money to go get a trust. Stop worrying about whether you need one. Just make a plan. Let's say they are right. I firmly 100% do not think they're right, but let's just run with it and say maybe they're right. And every one of my sources that work in these facilities are wrong, that are, helping to do this. Let's just say I'm wrong and they're right. That means you're going to get $1 million and you're going to have a day or two to get a trust. You can go on LegalZoom and make one in 30 minutes when you have $1 million. People quit worrying about whether you need one. It is so crazy for you guys to waste 2 seconds of your day worrying about that one. All right. That wasn't directed at you for asking the question. That was just because I'm literally getting that question right now, probably 200 emails a day, and I've answered it so many times. If one more person sends me an email asking, and I'm going to block them, not because I dislike them, just because I am frustrated with answering that one. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Put a scroll on the bottom. Another one, my God, no, 12 generals, guys. It is a worldwide event. Quit thinking it's going to happen without the United States. Hello, Steelers girl, DS from Southeast PA. Yeah, see, Karen points it out. Why worry about it? if they are right, and you need a trust and you're only going to get $1 million, if $1 million can't hold you a day or two while you get one, you got a whole different set of problems. John pointed out, even at So, they'll help you get a free one. There are so many places creating a trust. You can do it on YouTube. You can do a search. I mean, here, let's do this together right here. If you guys are truly indeed worried about it, let's go to DuckDuckGo. How do I make a free trust? Whoop. And I got to do better selling. Free living trust, free to print, save, download, free last will and testament, how to create a legal trust, LegalZoom, making love trust. You can do it yourself. Guys, stop worrying about the trust thing. You're going to change whatever it is you create because we don't know what the laws look like after this anyways. DNA defines you. It's going to be miserable, and a lot of it is because there are so many folks out there. It is their paid job to sow disinformation, so they are going to do an incredible job. Let's say they get one guru's ear, and that guru thinks they are a reputable source. Then they're going to start repeating it. You're going to start hearing about you need fried chicken to go to the exchange, and they're going to sow a lot of stuff. There is so much disinformation being sown. You guys have got to, we all have to. I know I've kicked a number of my sources to the curb over the years because none of their stuff made any sense or added up in any way. So I made the clear decision that they were disinformation, and there is a paid group, many probably paid groups that are being out, that their job is to get out there and sow disinformation. They're going to make it sound just believable enough that you're going to bite, so that it creates helter-skelter. You guys try to sell your currency, you throw in the towel. They're also going to try to frustrate you enough that you don't have any currency because they don't want you partaking in it. There's so much, and they don't want you to know the timing, because if the timing were clear and crystal, we're guessing at it. Everybody is guessing at it. There are probably half a dozen people that will actually know when it's going. The rest of us are guessing at it based on what we're being told. The banking world, of course, has to be prepared for it to go at any moment. They're the shepherd. No matter how many times you cry wolf, they still have to be there and be prepared. Yeah, Brother Halcyon, we're working on that one. Can you tell I'm tired of answering all those emails? All right, what I am hearing, some pros, cons out of European bond folks. I've got a couple of them that have had appointments moved to, and they swear that they're walking away with dollars. I've had some that are now looking at January 10th. Most of them are still looking at somewhere between 3rd, 4th. That is when they're planning on being back. I'm still getting any moment from my domestic, my redemption folks, and the folks in the United States, guys. Just buckle up. There's going to be an incredible amount of smoke, disinformation, ups, downs. This is a roller coaster. You guys have got to buckle up on this one. I forgot to do this one. Back up a few seconds once you hear that one. I've not heard anything negative at all. Also, keep in mind that all bonds do not have to be completed first. So if you hear me say, or if you hear somebody out there say, hey, one of my bond contacts doesn't have an appointment now till the 10th, that does not mean that the RV is not going till after it. That means that bond redemption or sale has been moved till then. Not all of the bonds have to be completed before we move forward with this RV, guys. So don't let it panic you. Joe, man, I'm glad you found it over there. It's good to have you on the YouTube side, Joe. That's one thing I wanted to make clear when I said that. I don't want anybody throwing in the towel. If I had to make my guess right now, and it is a guess, I would say somewhere between the 3rd and the 10th is going to be our go date. Could it be sooner? Absolutely. Are my redemption contacts prepared to go at any moment, including the weekend, because they're told they will be working this weekend? Yes, they are. You do not have to have a project. Supporting 7 grandkids on my Social Security, they take up our time. Thanks, Robert. You don't have to. It won't change what you take home. If you have a project, and this is on Zim only, Robert, this has nothing to do with any other currency, then you could get extra for that project. But you do not have to have one. It won't change what you're taking home. That's the way I understand it to be. Let's see. How do you calculate the value of 5 million VND? If it goes for $2, that would be 10 million US dollars. That would be 5 times $2. If it goes for $3, 15. If it went for $1, it would be 5 million. I'm expecting it to go somewhere around 2.25 to $2.30. So you would literally put 5 million times 2.25 or 2.3. Let's see. Talked to a loan officer credit union. Didn't directly ask, but mentioned how crazy the financial world was. She was giddy about what is changing. Tick, you're going to have a handful that know, that are prepared. I've talked to branch managers that know more than I do about this. I have talked to executives further up the chain that know absolutely nothing. This is so compartmentalized, and it is compartmentalized on purpose that it makes it tough. The 3 C's. There are certain things that have to happen no matter what. You're right. I do think that if we do see a cascading of events, we see China finally implode. And let's get to that one right here. Evergrande faces dollar bond coupons after recent default. Looks like they're getting ready to default again this week, guys. Then all bets are off. We get it sooner, and they can't kick the can anymore. I know it's going to be a lot of questions on this one. Olympia Brito. I am hearing the pen goes in that basket in the very first one. I don't know what to expect value-wise, though. I'm with you. Let's boycott them. Patrick, heck of a good way to start off the new year. Sorry, guys. I know a number of folks that listen get upset when I do this, when I just highlight them and keep going. Patrick said, starting the new year off right, having it happen those dates, Mark. I agree with you. eBay, yes, has 50 Zim notes, 50, 65 bucks. Yeah, there are a lot of sites out there now. I think the most expensive I've seen one lately is about 80 some dollars for a 50 T note. Let's see. Regarding my morning post about helping strangers in my town and how to turn that into a project, I had the idea to create a project to help single mothers. All the projects you can get for single mothers. I want to buy old hotels so that we can put women that are in fear in their life. They're trying to avoid an abusive spouse. I want to have security, and I want them to be able to get out immediately, and then be able to have like on-site training to help them with jobs. So I like it. Oh boy, fat scoops. Got the sickness, of course. I'm a 10-day long vacation. The holiday season. It seems to love the holiday season, doesn't it? Debbie. Let's see. My daughter and granddaughter are worried it's a hoax and want me to go to the police with everything. You know, we know there's going to be a reset. We know fiat currency is going to implode. We know that there are many experts out there that are heavily invested in the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong. Yeah, doesn't make any sense to me. Reading through so many of you guys' comments. Okay. Trump's news conference on the 6th. I don't know what to tell you, but on that front, though, let me see if I can find this one, guys. I did want to share one thing with you. Let's see. This is actually from Wyon, talking about the differences in the calendar and Christmas celebrations on the 7th, based on the Julian calendar. That's going to be in this evening's links. Matter of fact, let me get those up. There's a whole bunch of them. If you guys want to stick with me for a quick run through some of the things going on around the world on the news side of this thing. Hold on here. I am making certain I get this one sent where it needs to go. All right. Should have done that first. Now I'm back with you again. But I did. I found that one interesting. One of you guys sent it to me today, so I took the time to listen to it, the difference in the calendars. I was like, all right, and Trump is speaking on the 6th. Maybe he's right. When he says we're going to have a great, great Christmas, maybe he is referring to it. I hope he's accurate, guys. All right, other things going on in the news. Judge Maxwell's sex trafficking case. The judge is pushing for the jury to work longer hours and come to a decision because of the skyrocketing number of cases that are going on in New York right now. afraid that it could derail things, and they don't want it hanging out there. It would give an opportunity for people to maybe get to jurors or whatever. So this is where that push is coming from. Ooh, how to endless boosters will destroy immune function. That's a good one that I can't talk about. It's in there. One of you guys also sent this one. This is a way you can check the values. If you want to know how you can check the value for the different currencies to see if it's happened, here is a link for it, treasury.un.org. It'll be in the links. We already talked about that one. All right, now this one I'm just setting up. This one has been out for a while, guys. When it was made, Obama was president, so it's not a recent one. It's been out there for years. Recently making the rounds again. This is about aliens and military people discussing them just openly and some of the different versions. I put that in because China's space rover finds a mysterious hut on the far side of the moon. It is a little bit grainy, but it appears to be a square, small building on the dark side of the moon with the new probe they landed there. Of course, then we get a report like this one. NASA hires priests, not just a priest, but I think it was, 27, 28 of them, spent millions of dollars. Let's see, enlisted Reverend Dr. Andrew Davison, along with 23 other theologians. In other words, they want to know, how are we going to react? How are Christians around the world going to react if they find out that we indeed have celestial, intelligent life and neighbors? Isn't that interesting? I just thought a little foreshadowing, and me, I'm a geek. I like sharing those things. All right. CDC significantly cuts estimate of Omicron's prevalence in the U.S. They originally said it was 73%. Now they say it's 22.5. This breaks today. Talking, one, they don't really, they're guessing because they don't break down each test. But I thought it was interesting because of what they're pushing. They're trying to, of course, push you to take jabs, even though they know it doesn't work on this different variant. So they are ratcheting it back because everybody knows they're just not afraid of the new variant. And they, of course, need to keep you in fear. So it went from being 70, going to be the prevalent one within a week. It's going to probably be 100% of them within 3 or 4 weeks. So no, it's only 22% because we need you to be in proper fear of the variant, right? At least that's my take on this one. Coming out at the same time, of course, that it becomes the new dominant variant in the U.S. And guys, these articles are literally minutes apart when they were released. This one now accounts for 59%. Of course, they're all quoting the same agencies, but none of them have the same numbers. I think somebody's messing up at the propaganda department. Global travel chaos as thousands of flights canceled. I had no idea it had gotten this bad. It makes sense why people are having a tough time getting back into their seats. More than 28 flights have been canceled today worldwide. I did not know that 6,000 flights were canceled on Christmas and Christmas Eve and the day after. I didn't know it was that bad. I just wanted to throw that one in there. All right. This one, kudos to them. TGP reported on Spokane, the Gateway Pundit, on the food program officials. If you are familiar with this one, we ran a story in Spokane where they were going to make certain that you had the lollipop before you were allowed to go get food from the food bank. They couldn't even put it outside. You couldn't pick it up. You couldn't walk away. No food for you unless you played their game. Well, a number of patriots launched a no lollipop canteen. You guys can read this one. I can't read it out loud without getting in trouble. In Spokane, Christmas Bureau Food Assistance Program opted to only feed those with. They decided to pull together, and I love this. This one is one where so many families have been without, but rather than use it as a tool to manipulate and coerce, they did what was right. They said, I do not care. We are going to feed you. I thought this one was just great. And this is what I love about the community, patriots, and people in general. It is all about doing the right thing. It doesn't matter about the other person. Guys, if you give somebody begging on the side of the street $1, if they have a Mercedes parked around the corner and they are actually wealthy, that is not on you. That is on them. You did the morally correct thing. You did what your heart was called to do. It'll be up to them to deal with the karma that comes with them bald-faced lying. And this is it. This is folks like you and I standing where we believe, putting our money where our mouth is, donating food, setting it up, feeding them, distributing it. while you have the left that supposedly cares so much, that are so concerned about people, saying, no, it all comes with strings. These people got together and say it comes with zero strings. We want you to eat. We do not want you starving in this holiday season. And that, to me, that spoke to me. All right. President tells governors there is no federal solution. Clear politics. I love clear politics. They do a great job. Yeah. And sometimes cut hard on the right. They cut hard on the left. They're just real clear. They really don't pick a side. There is no federal solution. He comes out and says that, hey, you know, states, whatever, if you guys need anything, I'll give you a hand. But he admitted that he has nothing. All right. Outgoing mayor's mandate now in effect for New York businesses and indoor revenues. Now, why did I even waste my time including this one? There had to be some reason. Let's see. Yeah, no, it had to do with the earlier story today, how you have many hospitals reining back services in New York and first responders because they have obliterated the healthcare system there. It is collapsing under the weight because you have around 39%, I believe, that are looking at not going back to work because of mandates. I think that's where I went with that one. Not 100% certain. Then we've got, perhaps it was a lead in for this one. Fauci admits mandates are just a mechanism to get more people lollipopped. Has nothing to do with whether they work. He does, in his own words on a CNN interview, it's not that. It is simply a mechanism to force you, to coerce you into doing what he wants you to do. In any other society, at any other time in history, guys, they would have been ripping this man apart. He would have been drawn and quartered. It's not about the science. It's just a mechanism to get more people to take it. Also, keep in mind, he has tremendous financial interest in this. FDA officials resign and now write op-eds. Guys, this was probably the best thing I've watched today. Vinay Prasad, medical doctor, associate professor, physician, all those things. He really breaks this one down. This is, a week old already? And he goes into the logic, the sense, and the FDA panel saying, hey, wait a minute, they've not done all of these tests. And he really breaks it down into all of the long-term studies. And many of the people left the board because they ignored all their safety protocols. This was on the booster question as they were pushing boosters. And many of those folks that resigned or left the board are coming out now and saying, hey, look, man, I could not in good conscience say you need this because we have zero data in science. We do not know what those long-term effects are. It would be irresponsible to suggest it until we know. This one was good, guys. Really good. All right, signed $768 billion defense spending law into law. Guys, I'm telling you, the war machine loves Democrats. Obama was the same way. There is no drop in spending from the left. They are warmongers. Not to say that there aren't plenty of warmongers on the right, just the political notion that the left doesn't want to, they want a smaller military and they don't want war, and the right is all pro-war, and they're all, hawkish and all that. That does not stand up to the light of day when you start scrutinizing it and doing the math. That's why I included that one, just because of the hypocrisy. They can't claim one thing and do another. Falling gas prices trend likely to bottom. Drivers should brace for pain at the pump. Like it wasn't painful enough? Yeah, so it's dropped to $2.90, so now it's going up again. No, anyways, guys, it dropped artificially because of the Omicron news, and you had much of the world immediately going into lockdown, so demand suddenly dropped before they dropped supply. So in a nutshell, because we can't supply ourselves, they're going up again. That's where I was going with that one. Just wanted you guys to be prepared on that one. All right, breaking points. Media caught holding secret propaganda meetings with the Biden administration. That's no surprise. In other words, we want you to paint a rosier picture. And this happens in multiple administrations. The difference is in other administrations, when they attempt it, the press usually calls them out and says, no, we're not going to be your lapdog. Like they did the Trump administration. The Trump administration certainly tried to affect the coverage from the press. They were very unsuccessful. They got very negative coverage instead of positive when they brought out numbers. But this one goes a little deeper as to who they will not allow in interviews. It's a good one, breaking points. And keep in mind, breaking points is more left-leaning, and they are pointing it out. Evergrande, we already talked about this one. Just a great one if you are up for it. Mike Rowe did one on lockdown safety. dignity of work, college loans. It was just, I love micro, and I just wanted to include it. You guys watch it or don't watch it, up to you. And then I'm back because I'm certain there were being questions while I was just running my mouth. Young B, I'm with you. EBS, emergency broadcast needs to come on. They just need to pull this trigger. We're over it. I'm over it. I know you're over it. Yeah, exactly. And Mr. Busy Biz, if you haven't seen other countries with thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people taking the streets every day, then you are misinformed or you're just ignorant. I'm not saying that in a derogatory term. I'm meaning you are uneducated to what is going on, or you are living under a rock. They're taking to the streets regularly. No, you don't have to worry about that one, Irish Eyes. If this RV takes place, then we get into Sarah. They pull down that government. You do not have to worry about politicians getting credit for this, guys. You will not have to worry about that one. Patriot, this is actually, and I understand why it's going the opposite direction. Many of the dealers, because they do see it happening soon, by law, they cannot monetize it. The only way they can make money at this point is if they get it sold before it happens. Otherwise, they send it back. So their chance to make a profit does not. So they have this inventory. If they can't sell it, it goes back. Nobody gets to claim it. They would much rather sell it to you and make a little money than make zero money. And that's why you're seeing that sudden push. You have a lot of those currency dealers. You also have, boy, I tell you the stories I've gotten today with folks that have tried to get some out of a chase. Right. Right, Kenny? Can we just get rid of our TVs and it'll all be good? It is Tequila Tuesday. Yes, Maxwell will not have been sentenced on the same day found guilty. Phil, Terry, you are correct. That will drag some time after the guilty verdict, is my opinion. Humanitarian, it can absolutely just be local. It can just be national. It could be just in your county. It could be just in your city. It could be international. It could only be in Zimbabwe, or in you may be trying to help some kids in Timbuktu and Mali. I love this one. Pull the trigger. I need to buy 4 refrigerator trucks to deliver food to pantries. I like your idea. Kevin B, the calendar is a measure to men, but it is not a limit to God. You are so correct, Kevin B. Or Aniva. I'm not certain they're all from the same. Yeah, I missed the earlier one on that one, Aura. Let's see. Who said just laying is guilty? I don't see anything. I'm searching. I don't know what you're talking about there. Yeah, it is definitely essential releasing now to have a Pez dispenser before you go. I love you guys' sense of humor. You get it. Just listened. I don't know what PFS is. Fear mongering, in my opinion. Mr. C has broached that one before. He believes the money you have in the bank will automatically convert to QFS funds. I know I pulled all my money out of the market because I had no faith in it and put it in metals, mining, things like that. But Song Verse Ministries, I like this one. I work with a domestic teen center that has 2 locations in Arizona. The concept has the potential to be a national project. Well, Zim Project absolutely would not be any problem expanding with that one, as I understand Zim. One day, they are keeping locations secret for a reason, because it would cause a security issue. You will have many or multiple locations in Australia. You can absolutely guarantee yourselves that your larger cities like Sydney and Brisbane and Melbourne are going to have a place you can exchange. There is not a list ahead of where you exchange on purpose. What I've been told is, and I'm told it's similar in countries around the world, that 90% of the world will only have to travel roughly 50 miles for exchange unless they live in a very rural area. Rural area. Bomb is going so fast, so quickly. Thank you, Rock Your Red. I actually had something. Of course, it's Katie's birthday. And man, I had something just for you, Rock Your Red. But it must have been one of the things you shared with me. Oh well, it'll be something to tackle later. I'm getting loaded on emails though, guys. Just be prepared. I am not getting to 40% of all emails. If you don't get a response, if I miss something important, please don't take it personal. It has just become humanly impossible to get anywhere close to answering them. And especially if you ask me long, drawn out questions that require an explanation. I'll usually try to cover those in a podcast. In other words, if you're too lazy to watch the whole podcast and you miss it, don't ask me. Boy, that sounds pretty cocky on my part. It's just simple. I just don't have, there isn't enough time in the universe to answer them all individually in type. So it's easier to answer them on the podcast where I can answer them for 1,000 people instead of for just one. So I answer them on the podcast instead. Hi, Noreen. I love you, Noreen. You are the bomb. Sparky, don't rule it out. There is still a double-digit possibility for it. And if you watch Dr. Shabibi when he was addressing the, matter of fact, one of the mods will probably squeeze it in over here, so look for it. Dr. Shabibi shows that it could very, very clearly support double digits. And like I said before, when I was talking about other values, it is much easier for me to be mentally prepared for a lower value and then be excited or pleasantly surprised when it's higher. But Shabibi did. He was like, hey, this thing could be 14, could be 18, could be 20 some bucks, and showed the math on just how that could work. And he's the one that designed it. Thor Bain, I don't know what to tell you on this on oil contracts closing U.S. The Biden administration has issued more oil, or is on pace to issue more oil drilling permits than any previous president on our land. So it's not that he's worried about that. It's the other infrastructure that goes with it. It is the refining. It is the getting it to the customer. There are many others. It's clear that he is still taking his money from somebody in big oil, but just not somebody at our level where we're paying for it, because the oil companies right now are making record profit. Because all they do is throttle production. They lay off a bunch of people. They charge way more. So they're doing less work and making way more money. It's a pretty sick thing. So don't know what to tell you on that one. I've not seen anything about oil contracts being closed for any of my friends in the industry. Nobody has said anything about it yet. Busy Biz, I can't find any proof of that. I don't know if it's a made-up video or you folks in Hawaii, are you under martial law? I can't find anything pointing to that one. I searched for it as well. Sam, why do I consider the dong the best buy? A couple of reasons. One, let's say you buy Zim, and it is so inflated right now, and it does have a tremendous upside as we understand it. So risk versus reward, or potential reward, is fantastic. But let's just say that you got a lot of money right now. You're kind of flush. You spend like $2,000 buying currencies, and you buy Zim because you think it's great. And then what happens a month from now? You have an unexpected bill. Transmission goes out on your car, and you suddenly need that money. What can you sell back to have all of your money? Dong, you can sell back and only lose 4 or 5%, which is the spread. You still have access to your money. It has a great upside. So for me, it is one that makes a lot of sense. I also have dinar. I have dinar because there is always that outside chance that Iraq could get tired of waiting and revalue when the rest of the world isn't ready. I think that chance is exceptionally, obscenely slim, but I'm a Boy Scout, so I prepare for it. So I've got some dinar. What happens if the reset gets put off for some unseen reason? Aliens land on the White House lawn. Then Iraq goes ahead and goes, and the global reset waits a little while. I can trade in my dinar. Now I'm sitting comfortably until the rest of it goes. I'm just prepared that way. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. It just means I prepare for it. Just like guys, you don't expect a hurricane, but you save some water or save some food. You put money in savings in case something bad's happened. Doesn't mean you expect it to happen. Just means you're preparing yourself. I'm with you. Once you know where your center is, you know your appointment. On the way to the appointment, leave early, drive past it, go around it, make certain, just look. Open your eyes. Roadster Boy, yes. Foreign currency and multi-currency accounts should exchange for the same rate. Where that may not be accurate, though, is on dinar. Let's say there is a bonus if you are from the U.S., from Australia, from Canada, a country that was part of the liberation of Iraq, and they're paying you an extra $2 or $3, then you would only be getting whatever the international rate is or the street rate, which could be a couple of dollars difference. And that would be one of the negatives of having it in a multi-currency account. One of the positive for the other currencies like Indonesia, Dong, many of those other countries you guys may have some in. Having those in an MCA would be great because it's just automatically going to change and be easy. Ones where you expect there might be a premium or a contract because like oil for dinar or something like that, I would think that not having those in an MCA would be good. Hopefully all this is making sense, and I won't be able to keep up with them all. TL Cali, my suggestion for you is go to seedsofwisdomteam. Let me find the webpage for you, and you can find their room. Go find Ed and all the guys over in their currency room that pay far more attention to the Zim than I do. As I understand it, it's being used by Jermaine and others to replace a prosperity package. But let me find you a website so you can go and here it is, seedsofwisdomteam.com. Go right over there. Find their Telegram rooms over here in rooms, I assume is where it's at. Find their currency room. Find somebody that is more knowledgeable about the Zim than I am and ask them that question. That is my suggestion to you. Sandy just said the rooms are very helpful. I have heard great things about many of those rooms, so it comes on my suggested. Patriot, yeah, there should be no reason why you can't split humanitarian on this. You can do multiple projects, donate to different areas. Should not be a reason at all why you can't do that one. I love this one. Mark, the ex-branch manager from Fifth Third Bank, now believes in the dog, right? It's literally written all over the, I mean, you can't miss it. He wants to know how far I think 100 ounces of silver will go in value. I can tell you that my folks in the industry are looking over the next couple of months for it to go to $50. Many of them are expecting within, and this is without a reset, guys. They are expecting to see silver climb anywhere up to $500 or so an ounce because of the manipulation. Basel 3, guys, after Basel 3, it's not enough to have these paper metals. They have to have the physical metal. So you're going to start seeing all kinds of contracts called for that, demanding physical delivery instead of just paper. Right now it's manipulated. So if you're conservative, 50 to 100 bucks an ounce. If you are realistic, you can see 500 bucks an ounce. That's in my opinion only. Ask your silver dealer. You always have to cover yourself, even though it's an opinion. It's the world we live in. Hey, Joker, I love that on the tie-dye, man. Joker said just got a compliment on the MarkZ tie-dye I'm wearing. They are good-looking tie-dyes. Can't wait for short sleeve season to come back. All right. Now, how upset do you think you're going to be? Smoky High, how upset do you think? Because many of the tellers like, no, it's not, because their management is like, no, it's not real. And they have to tell them that, because if you're a bank teller, I can tell you that I have heard from folks that have that are knowledgeable on the redemption side and working in redemption, they had to sign NDAs and contracts saying that they will continue to work until exchanges are finished, or they won't get access to theirs because they're in the know. I found that very interesting. Sandy, this is another one that I've talked about so many times that I feel like I have a bloody crushed shred of a head. I'm not hearing they're going to be tranche unless you have over 10 100T notes before anything would be tranche. That's what I've been told. Now, I have heard that humanitarian side of it, the funds for your projects will be tranched as needed. Young B, you're catching it. Basel 3 takes effect, guys. 4 days. 3 days. Well, 3, 1, 2, 3. 4 days. I was right on the first one. All right, guys. I need to sing to Katie, and then I need to get out of here. I've yet to have dinner and still have a couple of hours of work ahead of me. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, Katie. May you live, may you love, may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. All right, guys, I got to get to dinner. I'm getting hangry. My blood sugar is crashing. Can you guys tell? Bye, guys.